Even a small telescope reveals its moons: Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. Best time: during opposition, when Jupiter is closest to Earth.
Start your journey tonight. The gas giant is waiting.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're setting our sights on the king of the planets, the magnificent gas giant, Jupiter. You know, it's pretty incredible when you think about it. Just one look at this distant world can literally spark a lifelong passion for the stars. So let's break it down. Why is Jupiter so captivating? How can you actually see it? And what amazing sights are waiting for you up there? Okay, so to really wrap our heads around Jupiter's majesty, we've got to start with its sheer scale. Let's do a little rapid-fire rundown of the numbers to get a feel for this giant. First up, mass. Jupiter isn't just big, it's a staggering 318 times more massive than our entire planet. Just let that sink in for a second. And get this, if Jupiter were hollow, you could fit all the other planets inside it, with room to spare. Or, to put it another way, you could cram about 1,300 Earths in there. Wow. And here's a wild fact. Even though it's so huge, this giant is spinning incredibly fast. A day on Jupiter, just one full rotation, is only about 10 Earth hours long. That makes it the fastest spinning planet in the whole solar system. It's also like the head of a huge cosmic family. Jupiter's gravity commands at least 95 recognized moons, all dancing in orbit around it. So what does that gas giant thing even mean? Well, it means that unlike Earth, there's no solid ground to stand on. Jupiter is a swirling, chaotic ball of clouds and storms, and its makeup, mostly hydrogen and helium, is actually way more like a star than a planet like ours. Okay, so we've established it's huge, it's fast, it's fascinating, but how do you actually see this magnificent planet for yourself? Well, let's talk about getting geared up. It's easier than you might think. And here's the great news. You don't need a professional observatory to start. You can literally just use a smartphone app to locate it in the sky. And believe it or not, even a decent pair of binoculars can show you its 4 largest moons. They'll look like little pinpricks of light right next to the planet. Okay, but if you want to see more detail, that's when a telescope comes in. Even a small one will start to show you not just the moons, but also the main cloud belts. But if you're chasing the really fine details, that's where bigger telescopes shine. Think of it this way. A bigger telescope is like a bigger bucket for catching light. More light means a clearer, sharper image, and that's how you get a good look at things like the Great Red Spot. Now here's a pro tip for taking your viewing to the next level: color filters. Seriously, think of them like specialized sunglasses for your telescope. Slap on a blue filter, and boom, the cloud belts and the Great Red Spot just pop with contrast. Or try an orange one, which is amazing for seeing all the little details in the belts and up near the poles. All right, we're all geared up. Now it's time for the main event. Let's take a tour of the absolute best sights to see when you're looking at Jupiter. So here's your checklist of what to look for. You've got the Galilean moons doing their little dance. You've got the cloud bands, the belts and zones. Of course, there's the legendary Great Red Spot, and something really cool, shadow transits, which is when you can actually see the shadow of a moon gliding across the planet's face. Let's start with those Galilean moons. Yeah, the ones Galileo himself spotted way back in 1610. These 4 little worlds, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, are moving so fast that you can literally watch their positions change in just a few hours. It's like watching a cosmic dance unfold in real time. Okay, next up, those stripes. It's probably the first thing you notice about Jupiter, right? Well, those are just massive cloud bands at different temperatures and altitudes. The dark ones, we call those belts, and the light-colored ones, those are the zones. And then there's the main attraction, the Great Red Spot. Let's be clear, this is not just some spot. It's a colossal storm, a hurricane wider than 2 Earths put together. We're talking winds screaming at over 270 miles per hour. And the craziest part? It's been raging for at least 350 years. Absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, so you might be thinking, wait a minute. Jupiter is a gas giant, right? Kind of like Saturn. So where are the rings? Shouldn't it have these spectacular rings too? Well, surprise, it does have rings. They're just so faint and dark that you can't see them with a backyard telescope. They're mostly made of tiny dust particles kicked up from meteorite impacts on its inner moons. In fact, nobody even knew they existed until NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft flew by and snapped a picture back in 1979. All right, to wrap things up, I want to give you 3 pro tips to make sure your view of Jupiter is as sharp and clear as possible. These come straight from seasoned stargazers. Because remember, a great view isn't just about having a big telescope, it's all about preparation. First, find steady skies. If you look up and the stars are twinkling like crazy, that means our atmosphere is turbulent, and your view of Jupiter will look like it's underwater. Second, let your telescope cool down. Just bring it outside for about an hour before you use it so it matches the air temperature. This prevents heat waves inside the scope from messing up the view. And third, make sure your optics are aligned. This is called collimation, and it makes a huge difference in how sharp everything looks. The cool thing is, Jupiter's face is always changing. Every single night offers a different view of this dynamic world, with its swirling storms and racing moons. So really, there's just one question left. What will you see?